Welcome back to Daily Dose of Devotional. Today, we'll be back in the Old Testament. The call of Jeremiah, found in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 1, is an account of God's divine call and the commissioning of the prophet Jeremiah. The story begins with God's call to Jeremiah saying, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as a prophet to the nations." This verse, Jeremiah 1 verse 5, highlights God's intimate knowledge of Jeremiah and his divine plan for his life. It underscores the idea that God has a purpose for each of us from the very beginning. However, Jeremiah, initially feeling inadequate for the task, expresses his concerns saying, "I do not know how to speak. I am too young." In Jeremiah 1:6, God reassures Jeremiah, emphasizing that he will be with him and provide him with the words to speak. This assures us that God equips those he calls, regardless of their perceived limitations. God goes on to touch Jeremiah's mouth and appoints him over nations and kingdoms, both to uproot and tear down, and to build and plant. Jeremiah 1:10. This signifies the dual nature of Jeremiah's prophetic mission, involving both judgment and restoration. The story of Jeremiah's call reminds us that God's calling often involves a deep sense of purpose and a divine appointment. It illustrates that God's plans transcend our understanding, and He equips us for the tasks He assigns. Jeremiah 1 verses 17 to 19 provides a comforting promise and an encouraging message for Jeremiah. "Get yourself ready. Stand up and say to them whatever I command you. Do not be terrified by them, or I will terrify you before them." God assures Jeremiah of His protection and guidance in the face of opposition. This verse resonates with the idea that God is with us in our calling, providing the strength and courage we need. In summary, the call of Jeremiah in Jeremiah 1 is a powerful testament to God's divine calling and appointment. It teaches us about God's intimate knowledge of our lives, His equipping of those He calls, and His promise of protection and guidance. This story reminds us that God's call carries a profound sense of purpose and is accompanied by His divine presence throughout our journey. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again tomorrow.